At the end of the year, we're at the end of 2025. At the end of every year, there are a few things that I try to do to move into the new year kind of fresh and ready. And I don't always get them done. I'm not perfect at this, but I do try to start the new year kind of ready to go, right? Because I think that's the best way to start the year. And one of the things I like to do is celebrate my wins and really get a good idea of what worked this year, what went well. We don't celebrate that often enough. So that's one of the things I like to do at the end of the year. And I have an accountability partner who's a friend of mine, and we have been telling each other that it's time for that. So that's something I intend to get going this year as well. So another thing I like to do is I have an annual business planner that I've created. It's a workbook, and I go through everything like how many domain names do I own? What kind of subscriptions do I have in my business? What did all of my offers make this year? What did each one bring in so that I can compare and see what did well, what didn't do well? You know, is there anything I can learn from that information? How much has my email list grown this year? How much has my YouTube channel grown this year, which is going to be a new one for next year? Um, I like to do that. Um, Also, an important thing to do, and I have not done this for years, so it's really time to do it, is a life wheel. And if you don't know what a life wheel is, it's just a wheel where you decide the important things in your life. It could be, business, family, um, eating well, exercise, all of these different kinds of things that you put on the wheel. And then you rate them from 0 to 10 where you feel they are right now. And that gives you a picture of what your year has been like and a direction on what you want to create for the new year. What I focus on in my teaching and my website and what I've talked about ever since I started my business in 2002 is lifestyle freedom, because I started my business to be home with my son. I didn't start my business to let my business consume my life. So for me, it's life first, then business. That's like my motto, I guess you would call it, or my statement that I say a lot. So when I create my life wheel, I am looking to make sure that business isn't overtaking my life. And for the most part, it doesn't, because I only work a few hours a day, Monday to Friday. Sometimes I think I could be working more, but there's still a lot of things that are pulling for my attention. And that's the life part, and that's really important to me. So doing that life wheel allows you to think about, how does business work? What do you need to create in your business to make this work with your life? So that's really important. Another thing I'm going to do, and I've already started this, I actually had 3 months mostly laid out, but potentially I'm going to change that up a bit so it's not fully done. But I plan out the whole year. I get calendars, and I have a process. I use a tool called Miro, Miro, and you can go to Miro and you can use their tool for free and make yourself a calendar. And what I do is I pull up Google Calendar, and I have an empty Google Calendar. I copied into Miro, and I use sticky notes from Miro, and I plan out my whole year. What I also would like to do this year, these are hopes for me that hope I get to, is do a wall calendar, put something up so that I can see it rather than it being just digital. So those are some of the main things I do. And then, of course, for finances, I'm looking at what I have called my activity report. It's a spreadsheet that has all of my expenses, all of my income on it, that I do try to keep updated very consistently throughout the year. And for years and years, I was not good at this, and I don't recommend that. You don't want to get behind on tracking all of your finances and, paying the things that need to get paid. So this is kind of, these are the tools I use. These are the things that I offer. You can just go to my description and it's a training I have called Finish Strong, which has all of these resources in it. You can get my business planner so you can fill it out or make your own version. I've got a life wheel template that I think I made in Canva. It's very simple. You could print that out or use it, and I think you could use it in Canva as long as that's still shareable. I'm not sure if Canva changed their rules on that, but I'll share the Canva template that you could copy if possible. You can have a look at my content calendar, have videos on how I do that content calendar and plan out that whole year of content. So you can see that, how I use the activity report as well. I've got a video on that. You can get the activity report. It's in Google Sheets, and you can have access to that and use that as well. So in the description, there will be a link, and I hope it helps. I'll talk to you later.